Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Welcome to the Mongoose's second annual Super Bowl preview. Today I'm going to break down the game between the 49ers and the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to tell you who's going to win the game, and I'm going to tell you why. So let's get started. First, let's get something out of the way. Ray Lewis was alleged to have taken some deer antler spray to help him recover from a torn triceps. Deer antler spray has something known as an ingredient that is manufactured in HGH in it. I would have told Mr. Lewis that you would have been better off taking something called the hair of the mongoose, which I could have provided with him. It not only helps with your tricep injury and helps you recover from that, but it also serves as an erectile tablet and helps you be a little bit more of a man in the bedroom. But that aside, let's get to the game. I'm going to tell you that the Baltimore Ravens are going to win this game 24-20. Put it in the books. The 49ers will be going down for a final drive in the fourth quarter, and they will lose the game in this final drive. They will not score the touchdown they need. In fact, they will need a touchdown in large part because their special teams will not be up to par. Mark my words, the big play in the game that no one will be talking about is the fact that David Akers is going to have a big miss either in the first half or second half. That would mean that the 49ers will need a touchdown to win the game instead of actually needing a field goal. So because of the shoddy special teams of the 49ers, in fact, that David Akers cannot make field goals recently, I believe he's missed about 13 this year, that will be a huge role into why the 49ers will lose the game. On the flip side of the coin, the Baltimore Ravens have rectified their field goal mishaps. Last year, as we recall, Billy Cundiff missed a key field goal against the New England Patriots that would have sent the Baltimore Ravens to the Super Bowl against the Giants. They've gotten rid of Cundiff, who's actually on the 49ers roster, and they've replaced him with Justin Tucker. So I believe that's going to be a factor. Regarding the rest of the teams, I believe it's very equal in many respects. I think that you're going to get a big game from Flacco. Mark my words, I think the one thing that Flacco does that's going to make it difficult for the 49ers is that a lot of his passes are deep balls. So a lot of times it's all or nothing. You're not going to have a big interception, meaning the 49ers secondary is not going to have a big interception where they're going to be able to return it to the house because a lot of these throws are deep balls. So Flacco may complete under 50% of his passes, but a lot of them should be deep balls, which cannot be intercepted. And even if they are intercepted, they won't hurt the Ravens because they likely won't be in the Ravens' territory. And in addition, on those deep balls, look for Torrey Smith or Jacoby Jones to have a good game because Carlos Rogers, whoever he's going to be covering, I'm telling you, the Baltimore Ravens are going to be picking on that guy, trying to throw at whatever receiver Carlos Rogers is covering because he is not a great cover corner. A lot of times he needs help. Although he's made a Pro Bowl in these big games, he often struggles. Victor Cruz of the Giants had a big game against him in the NFC Championship game last year, so I think they're going to pick on Carlos Rogers. On the other side of the coin, the 49ers offense can do a lot of damage as well against the Baltimore defense, mainly because the Baltimore defense is a little older. They're going to have to get them out in space. I think the Baltimore defense is still very physical, but they have a lot of guys coming off of injury. So Terrell Suggs, who's coming off an Achilles injury, or Ray Lewis coming off a triceps injury, if they can get one of them in space against LaMichael James, who's a bit of a third down back and he can catch passes out of the backfield, I think they can move the ball that way. In addition, running around chasing Kaepernick will be difficult for some of their older players. I do think that Ed Reed's instincts, although he doesn't have the speed and the athleticism he did back in the day, that will come into play, and he might get an interception by baiting Colin Kaepernick. I do think that will happen. So another thing, like I said, to bank on is an interception by Ed Reed. It's going to hurt the Baltimore Ravens, the fact that they no longer have Ladarius Webb, who's injured against the Dallas Cowboys, so their secondary can be a bit taken advantage of. But I'm not sure that Kaepernick is up to par to doing so. Although he completes some of the outs very well, I don't know about his deep ball, which would likely be the pass that will be available. So what will be available, I'm not sure that he can take advantage of. I do think he's going to have some yards on the ground. I think he's probably going to have 50 yards rushing because I think that the Baltimore defense, that is something that they're going to have to give up while they're trying to cover the other 49ers weapons, including Michael Crabtree. I do believe Randy Moss, who's one of the third down wide receivers now, former great receiver, he will probably have one big deep catch in his game of over 50 yards, and that is something that the Ravens, with their aggressiveness, will likely give up. So I think the 49ers will be able to move the ball on the Baltimore defense. They will have one big turnover. I do think they're going to have a couple of field goals, and 2 touchdowns scored in the 20 points. But I think mixed in within that, Colin Kaepernick will throw 1 interception, and David Akers will have 1 big field goal miss. So that I analyzed both the offenses. I think, as I said, the Baltimore defense weakness will be the speed, keeping up with the speed of the 49ers. So they're going to have to concentrate on taking away Vernon Davis, which I do believe they will concentrate with doing with a guy like Ed Reed, or putting a really good cornerback on him. If they do that, I don't think that the other 49ers receivers are going to kill them. But again, that will open up at some part of the game a deep pass for Randy Moss. So I think when you're looking at Ellerbe or guys like that, they will not be exposed in the speed factor. But when you're talking about a guy like Ray Lewis or Terrell Suggs, this might be an issue. So that's what I think is going to happen with Baltimore defense. I think they're going to be a little cagey. They're going to have to rely on some of their wits. But I do believe they will get the job done, because where the 49ers' speed lies in the tight end position in Vernon Davis, I don't think they can hurt the Baltimore defense enough that they're going to put up a vast number of points. So another thing to look for is Bernard Pollard, who is famous for being known as the Patriots killer, will probably lay a big hit on Kaepernick at some point in the game. He might even take a 15-yard penalty. Colin Kaepernick went against the Green Bay Packers defense, and he went against the Atlanta Falcons defense, who are not known for big hits, and he was able to take advantage of them because he knew that he was not going to be hit. However, when he gets outside the pocket, the Ravens are known for a little bit of dirty play, which might come into play in this game, because if Kaepernick gets lit up once or twice, I think he'd be a little wary to go to the outside and really try to run on some of these guys. Bernard Pollard may have a violent hit on him, either going out of bounds or something of that nature. So I think that's what you want to look for in the game. The Ravens will, I think, contain Franco relatively well. Look for him not to get more than 60 to 70 yards rushing. I think a lot of it will fall on the shoulders of Colin Kaepernick throwing the ball, and I do not believe that's going to be good enough to win the game for the 49ers. On the flip side of the ball, the 49ers will struggle a little bit in the fact that Justin Smith and Aldon Smith, who are their big-time defensive linemen, they're a little bit banged up. Again, I think Carlos Rogers can be taken advantage of with the deep pass. So I don't think that the 49ers will be able to get as much pressure as they normally get when they're healthy, meaning when the Smith brothers, Aldon and Justin, are healthy. I don't think that you're going to see that pressure. Patrick Willis, again, will have a stellar game, so I think he'll be able to contain Ray Rice. I don't think Ray Rice is going to run all over the field. Again, do not look for him to have more than 60 to 70 yards rushing, probably not more than 3.5 yards a carry. Ray Rice's factor will be more in the reception game. Look for him to have a couple of big catches out of the backfield when Flacco doesn't find anything deep. That will lead to first downs. Again, I don't think Navarro Bowman or Patrick Willis, as athletic as they are, I don't think they will be able to keep up with Ray Rice in the backfield. Their strength will more be in containment in the run game. So while the 49ers have a great, stellar defense, I think, in fact, more athletically superior to the Ravens at this point. I think that Flacco's will be able to find Torrey Smith. He will be able to find at some point Jacoby Jones. And Anquan Bolden will continue to be a possession receiver. In addition, Dennis Pitta, the tight end for the Baltimore Ravens, will have a few big catches. So there's too many weapons, I think, for Flacco to look for. As we saw with the 49ers, they can be lit up on the deep pass as they were by the Atlanta Falcons when Matt Ryan connected with great frequency to Julio Jones on some deep passes. While Torrey Smith and Jacoby Jones are not at that level, again, I do believe the 49ers can get exposed in the deep passing game, which is what the Ravens are trying to do. So while I don't necessarily think the Ravens are necessarily a better team than the 49ers, I think the matchup favors them at this point. 49ers special teams are a little shaky. I do think Kaepernick is not going to be playing at the same level he was in the other 2 rounds. And in addition, like I said, he's going to get hit a little harder. Coaching-wise, I think it's pretty much a wash. John Harbaugh has been great 5 years in the playoffs, has had victories every year in the playoffs. Jim Harbaugh, in addition, has been superior. The guy has taken a team with Alex Smith last year to the NFC Championship game, and this year, in his second year, in first year starting, he's taken a team with Colin Kaepernick to the title game. To the Super Bowl all the way, actually. So, again, that's how I break down the game. I think the Ravens are a little older and slower on the defense, but they're a cagey bunch, and I don't think the 49ers have the weapons to expose them, and I think they will be able to contain the 49ers' attack and hold them to 20 points. On the flip side of the ball, the 49ers' defense will not be able to contain the deep pass, and that is in large part while the Ravens will get 24 points on the board. Again, my final pick is 24 Ravens, 49ers 20. Look for a big miss by David Akers. Take care. It's the Mongoose, and I'm not backing down.